Hare Krishna. So, I welcome you to the fourth session of our Bhakti Sadhana course. Every one of you attended last three sessions. You attended only one session. Just first session, topmost yoga, practical insights. So, hui thi, okay. So, we started with the first session called Topmost Yoga, Practical Insights. So, it is said in the Vedic scriptures, including the Bhagavad Gita, that Bhakti Yoga is the topmost yoga. So, Yoginam api sarvesham madgater antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamomata. Means my opinion, Krishna says, and that opinion is of Bhagwan. भगवान का ओपिनियन है. मतलब हम पूछते हैं ना, आपको क्या लगता है, ये what is your opinion, whether this is right or that is right, whether this is better or that is better. Similarly, if we ask Bhagwan, Lord Krishna, who is Sarva Karana Karanam, Ishwarah Paramah Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. And if you ask what is better to such a person, then his verdict should be final. So, in that sense, as Bhagavad Gita clearly brings out that the topmost yoga system is Bhakti Yoga. But our first session was not only understanding it from the philosophical perspective that Bhagavad Bhakti is topmost yoga, Yoginam api sarvesham, amongst all the yogis, Madgater antaratmana, one who strictly abides in me, completely abides in me. Shraddhavan, with faith, bhajate means bhaja means भजन करना या भक्ति में ही भजन होता है. अष्टांग योग मतलब भजन नहीं है. अष्टांग योग मतलब 8 योग की प्रक्रिया है. तो अष्टांग योग नहीं, कर्म योग एज सच नहीं. कर्म योग in the sense, karma yoga sometimes is more focused on the convenience of the doer. What he can do, he will be situated in that, but will offer everything to the object of his worship. So karma yoga in that sense. Jnana yoga means philosophical speculation as to why this is so, how it is so. Understanding by intellect, by thinking, by observing. Depending upon one's faculty of intellectual discrimination, one tries to understand who is God, who am I, that is Jnana Yoga, and how this world works. So that is one's system. But the Bhagavad Bhakti, as Krishna says, Yogi Namapi Sarvesham Madgatir Antaratmana Shraddhavan Yo Bhajate Mam. Jnana Yoga doesn't necessarily means he is Bhajate. Karma Yoga doesn't mean he is bhajati. Karma Yoga, he is doing office duties, grahastha duties, his varnashram duties perfectly according to Vedic scriptures and offering the results. Part of his income he is offering. So it doesn't necessarily 100% means pure devotion, bhakti, bhajate. Although Karma Yoga is defined as Bhakti Yoga, but still, if we see it not strictly from Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya teachings about Karma Yoga, in general understanding of people, Karma Yoga, there are many paths which actually explain what is Karma Yoga. So, strictly speaking, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, both of them are separate for some people. But for Bhakti Yogi, both of them are same because he is offering his duties, activities, and he's trying to please Krishna. So every activity of his becomes Bhakti Yoga. So in that sense, it is Bhakti Yoga. But Bhajate means if a Karma Yogi, so-called, minus Bhajan, that Karma Yogi also is not strictly topmost. That is the sense. Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam means Krishna. It's not directly it is said mam. It's not bhajate means some energy, some impersonal thing. no name, no, it's all energy, it's all Paramatma or something. It's Krishna as a person. Bhajate yo mam. Because you love a person. You भजन किसका करते हैं हम? किसी व्यक्ति का भजन करते हैं ना. भजन में किसी व्यक्ति का गुणगान होता है, नाम रूप लीला गुणगान होता है. भजते यो माम समे युक्त तमो मता. He is the topmost among all. Krishna says this. So that is topmost. In the first session, we saw why it is practical, how it can be seen as a practical topmost yoga. So we saw 10 reasons of why it is, and some 6 reasons of why it is practical in today's life. Second session, we saw uh, 4 pillars of bhakti. Now, this course actually, Bhakti Sadhana, it has come after Discover Yourself. So it is meant to give us the understanding of what is Bhakti Sadhana. Because in Divas we saw essentially the 5 truths. Atma, Jeev, Prakriti, Bhagwan, Kal and Karma. How they are related. And we came to the conclusion that we being Jeev, we are supposed to get out of this material Prakriti, which is made up of 8 things which are temporary. We are supposed to leave this material world and go back to spiritual world, where our eternal home is. So, what is that process? We saw that it is Bhakti Yoga, Yoga process in general. Amongst Yoga, we established it is Bhakti Yoga that is topmost and practical for us today, because we gave so many reasons why it is practical. One of the reasons is we can't practice the whole Vedic system now because we are totally untrained in it. If somebody says, what is your Varna? What is your ashram? That also we don't know. And it's a systematic training, Varnashram training one has to go through to follow Vedic teachings perfectly. But Bhakti Yoga, for Bhakti Yoga, the eligibility is anyone can do. Anyone in any situation, in any country, irrespective of nationality, creed, religion, color, complexion, irrespective of his job, irrespective of whether he is in home or whether he is working outside home, nothing matters. Bhakti Yoga is open to all. Striyo Vaishya Tata Shudra Teti Yanti Param Gati. Means even uh, Shudra. Shudra means one who has very little understanding and not very intelligent and visionary. That person also can do easily Bhakti Yoga and Param Gati. He can attain the topmost perfection. So that point of view, our after Discover Yourself, our understanding, we want to know how to practice yoga so that we attain the perfection. So in that, Bhakti Yoga is topmost. We understood why it is practical. We understood, and we wanted to understand what are the ways on what basis Bhakti Yoga stands. So there are 4 pillars of Bhakti we saw. What are those? Sadhana, Seva, Sadachar, and knowing Siddhanta. Siddhanta, Seva, Sadhana, Sadachar. So Siddhanta means knowing the essence or knowing the definitions. Like the Bhagavad Gita gives all definitions. All 5, discover yourself is part of that understanding. So this sadhana consists of Siddhanta, Sadachar, Seva. Seva also we understood what is Seva. And then uh, Sadachar also we understood why it is essential. Without Sadachar, all Dharma may become void. With one mistake in Sadachar, you can do such an offense that all your Siddhanta, Seva, Sadhana will go to, uh, it will be termed as, even Mahabharata says that a person who is perfect in his Siddhanta, purity of following the rules and regulations, internal purity, character. But if he lacks sadachar, then it is compared to a well which is covered by grass on top. You don't know that it is well, and you will fall down in that well. And you walk and you fall down in that well. Big elephants are captured like that. If elephant is beyond control of anybody, then what they do is they have a big ditch, बड़ा गड्ढा होता है, हाथी गिरने इतना बड़ा, और उसके ऊपर ऐसा सब घास वगैरह जमा देते हैं और उस हाथी को वहां पे डायरेक्ट कर देते हैं. So that way that big elephant is captured. Similarly, all your Siddhant may be perfect, your Seva may be perfect, your uh, Siddhanta Seva Sadhana may be perfect, and your character may be perfect. But if you don't have Sadachar, then it is like uh, धर्म को अधर्म को धर्म के ऊपर ऊपरी सतह से आवृत किया गया. ऊपर से धर्म दिख रहा है बट अंदर बड़ा गड्ढा है. So like that, sadachar is very important. Sadachar constitutes of how we behave in this world with others, with God, with deity of God in temple, with devotees, with senior devotees, with equal level devotees, with juniors, and in general in people, in house, in with our parents, with our relatives. All these are sadachar principles. So we saw that all sadhana, siddhanta, seva, sadachar, all are defined in Vedic scriptures. In Bhakti scriptures, they are especially um, uh, integrated or collected in such a way that they will be suitable for following devotional service. So we saw how Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they gave these principles and they are available to us. In the second session, we saw that. The third session was Navavida Bhakti. So now we are refining uh, our activities to more and more practical understanding. What has to be done exactly? Bhakti means what has to be done. So we saw that last time Prahlad Maharaj gave Navavidha Bhakti, 9 processes of devotional service. One, multiple, or all of them together can give perfection to devotional service, Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga means those 9 processes, out of which the first one is Shravan, hearing attentively. So we saw what is hearing, what is chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, etc. 9 processes we saw. So, Shravanam is foremost. We saw each of the processes, what is its definition, and what are its vidhi, means what has to be done, what is its nishedh, what should not be done. We saw that in the principles of Bhakti Yoga, vidhi and nishedh in simple terms means that is called as vidhi, which is helping us in remembering Krishna, and that is called nishedh, which helps to get rid of not remembering Krishna. So, if it is hindrance in remembering Krishna, then it is called nishedh. One should avoid it. So there are vidhi and nishedh for Shravan Kirtanam, every process of devotional service. So we saw what is vidhi and nishedh for each process, and then we saw um, examples of who is the person who achieved perfection by following this particular process of devotion. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. We saw for each of them. Pada Sevanam, Vandanam, Sakyam, Dasyam. For each of them we saw. And now today we are at this session, fourth session, Bhakti Yoga at home. Now how do you follow these processes in day-to-day life? At your home or maybe at your workplace, office. What do you exactly do Bhakti Yoga? How do you do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam? It is all the times it has to be done. So that art we want to now study. So if we see, we are going into the practical details, philosophical details to practical details. The fifth session, next coming session will be why we do what we do. So today, even though you may not really you may have this question, why we should do like this? So many things why we should do. Those whys will be addressed in the next session. Why we do what we do. So today we will understand Bhakti Yoga at home. This is the first time actually I am giving this class, and this PPT is made for the first time. Maybe we may need further refinement and clarifications. But let us see what can be, covered, whether I am able to give justice. Because Bhakti Yoga at home also is a big topic as such. It's about our everyday life. There are so many things involved in it. So we'll see practice, importance of practical application. That whatever sadhana, seva, siddhanta, sadachara, and navavida bhakti principles about topmost yoga, that is bhakti yoga, how without practice, all of it just becomes some conception in our head, and it doesn't have much significance as such. It has, as a knowledge, it purifies us, but as a practice, it is to be more important. To be put into practice, it is more important. We see that why practice is important. Who can practice? When can we start? Means, is there something like age limit or lifestyle limit or something? Source of learning, how we learn this refined things. Temple, the center of spiritual practice. Why temple is important for us? Transforming home into a temple, building culture of traditions at home, importance of Yuga Dharma conception, founding Acharya conception and practices. Means these are subset of certain practices out of millions of practices, and the reasoning behind why those practices are given priority. That is the last point. So, practice, why it is important. So, after learning the philosophy, we know that we do practical, even in our academic this thing. We learn certain subject, but then practically we are given certain mathematical equations to be solved, certain real life situation where the mathematical formulae or scientific principles will be applied, or you go to a lab and actually put it to practice. Then you realize, oh, the chemical looks like this, the ml quantity looks like this much, and then temperature heating process is like this, and then the transformations chemical processes work like this. Any I'm just giving an example. Anything that until unless we put into practice, it remains vague and theoretical, and we don't really know how to use that knowledge in practical life. Our academic knowledge we use in the sense of earning money and having our own livelihood, prestige, and resources and nice relationships in this world. We try to gain out of that. Suppose you learn, you spend so much of money, you become some engineer or some manager, and you don't go for work. What is the use? So similarly, uh, following practically is required. So first importance is following means real learning. Actually, the symptom of real learning is following. It is said in scriptures, pathakaha pathakaschaiva ye chanye shastra chintakaha sarve vyasanino murkha yah kriyavan sapandita. Yah kriyavan sapandita means uh, one who learns. Pathakaha means one who learns. Padhne wale. Pathakaha chaiva, and one who is teaching. Padhane wale. अन्य शास्त्र चिंतकाः, others who think about शास्त्र, शास्त्र के बारे में विचार करने वाले, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन विवेक शक्ति को अपने शास्त्र के अनुसार ये करने वाले, रिफाइन करने वाले. सर्वे व्यसनिनो, all these who are involved in this व्यसनिनो मूर्खा, all of them are fool. Until unless यह क्रियावान, until unless they put into practice. Sapandita means one who puts into practice is real wise man or pandita. Whatever is given in scriptures, all we learn, if it is not put into practice, we are fools. It says like that. So we'll say like that to anybody who who learns some degree, gets some degree and doesn't use it at all. You see why he wasted a seat in engineering college if he didn't want to practice engineering. We say like that. Sometimes there is a hot debate why engineers should become managers. Although there is some intersection and something have to be understood by a manager too, he has to become engineer. He has to have engineering knowledge in order to manage such projects. That is there. But sometimes there is teasing between managers and engineers. In that sense, that why do you learn if it has no value? If you can't, you don't put it to practice, then there is no meaning in learning. Uh, the second reason is divine people act, not just speak. In Marathi, there is this बोले तैसा चाले त्याची वंदावी पावले. Marathi, who understand? All you understand. बोले तैसा चाले means बोले जैसा बोलता है वैसा चलता है. त्याची वंदावी पावले. Paule means his feet. One should bow down to his feet. One who doesn't only speak but acts on what he speaks. He speaks according to what he follows, or he follows whatever he speaks. One has to um, uh, the divine people just act, just not speak. Sharadi na varshati garjati varshati varshasu nisvano megha नीचो वदति न कुरुते वदति न सुजनः करोत्येव. शरद ऋतु में मेघ गर्जना करते हैं पर बरसते नहीं. बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में भी, जो गरजते हैं वो बरसते नहीं. वर्षा ऋतु में आवाज नहीं करते हैं पर बरसते हैं. नीच मनुष्य जो होता है, नीचो वदति, नीच जो व्यक्ति है वो सिर्फ बोलता है. नीचो वदति न कुरुते, करता नहीं. वदति न सुजनः करोत्येव. सुजन या सज्जन, divine people, they not only they speak but they also act accordingly. So this is the second reason why we should act. Third one is Vedas leave us at death if we do not follow. Vedic knowledge, if we don't follow it, just keep it theoretical. Just as information, we save it in the hard disk of our brain. अगर कोई फाइल्स आपके कंप्यूटर में है और आप उसको कभी खोलते भी नहीं, देखते भी नहीं, प्रिंट भी नहीं निकाला, किसी को दिया भी नहीं, you don't use that knowledge at all. It's sitting as a file. Suppose there is some movie that you wanted to see but you never saw it and never felt like seeing it. It's lying on your hard disk. It's waste of space. Similarly, Vedas are personified knowledge. If you have a person with whom you don't have any relationship, the person is just next to you. In your office, it may happen, a person is a colleague is sitting in front of you. Whole life you did not talk with him, and whole life you did not smile at him. As if he doesn't know you, you do not know him. So that relationship has no value. And that person at time of a crisis will not run and come for your help, probably. So, similarly, Veda, they are persons. Knowledge is person. Ved is also like a person. That person, we have to interact with that person. We have to see that the knowledge that is coming as his blessing. Krishna is Veda Purusha. He is the original. Veda isya sarvairahameva Vedya. Actually, Veda is not different than Krishna. Veda, it is called Vangmaya. Veda Vyas is Vangmaya avatar of Krishna. So Veda Vyas is representing, the books are representing Veda Vyas. So Veda Vyas is Sakshat Bhagwan avatar. So if we do not, it's like Ved Vyas is telling us, when I open some book, Ved Vyas is telling me. So Ved Vyas is revealing some knowledge to me, I just, okay. Then it is that Ved Vyas, why he would come to help. you, because you have nothing to do with him. So it is said, Acharya hinam na punanti Veda yadapyadhitaha sah षड्भिरंgai छंदास्येन मृत्युकाले त्यजन्ति नीडम शकुंता इव जात पक्षाः. This is coming from Vasishtha Smriti. Vedas means Shiksha, Kalpa, Nirukta, Chanda, Vyakaran, Jyotish. These are 6 angas of Veda. Vedas Acharahina na punanti Veda yadyapi dhita sah shadvirangai. Shad angai means 6 limbs of Vedas are Shiksha, Kalpa, Nirukta, Chanda, Vyakaran and Jyotish. These, with all these 6 angas, one who has studied Veda, if he is Acharyahin, if he is not following what he has learned, it doesn't purify him. And just like after the small birds get wings, they fly away from their parents. Similarly, at the time of death, one who has not followed the Vedic knowledge, the Vedas leave him. It's of no use for him. Because at the time of death, we leave our hard disk back. We saw reincarnation means what? Atma, soul going from one body to another body. So if it is not put into practice, it is not taken into our subtle consciousness, we don't carry our gross body anyway. So gross knowledge which is there in the brain will remain in this life here only. But if we take it inside by following, then it helps us at the time of death. Otherwise, it doesn't help. So that's why, third reason, Vedas leave us at death if we do not follow. We become dear to Krishna by following. This is given in the Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter. Ye tu dharmyamrutamidam yathoktam pariupasate. Shraddhadhana mat parama bhaktastetiva me priya. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service, follow yatha uktam, as it is said. Ye tu dharmyam amrutam idam. This dharma ka ye amrut. Yatha uktam, as I am saying. Paryupasate. Paryupasate means अनुशीलन करना. एक होता है उपासते, मतलब अपने मन से करना. पर्युपासते मतलब किसी ने किया है, बताया है, उसी तरीके से करना. यथा उक्तम पर्युपासते, डबल आया है. किसी का अनुगमन करना बोलते हैं, अनुसरण करना बोलते हैं. अनु मतलब मैं यहां से गया हूं, मैं आपको बताता हूं यहां से ऐसे जाना है. दैट इज अनुगमन. Following. Paryupasate means as it is, chalked out, like that. As it is, if one follows, then what happens? Shraddhadhana, with faith, because faith is required. Everything cannot be just seen by our gross senses. We saw that in device. So yathoktam paryupasate shraddhadhana mat parama, keeping complete faith in my transcendental nature. Because Krishna, whether he is present here in front of us physically, can we perceive Krishna is sitting here? When Krishna Katha is happening, Krishna is sitting here. But do we actually understand it? If Krishna is sitting here, physically perceivable to us, how would we be alert? But that much alert we may not be there when we can't perceive Krishna. But this perception is possible by Shraddha. Shraddhadhana mat parama. Parama means transcendental, which is beyond our capacity of senses. Yator bhaktir adhokshaje. Adhokshaje means one who is beyond the senses, perception of senses. So that way, even though Krishna is not directly visible to us for bhakti, हम भक्ति के लिए बोल रहे हैं. किसी की भक्ति, किसी के साथ प्रेम करना, लोग बोलेंगे अरे किसके साथ प्रेम, ऐसे ही वर्चुअल, कोई दिखता नहीं है ऐसा व्यक्ति के साथ प्रेम कैसे कर सकते हैं? So Krishna is saying with Shraddha that I am there indeed. Even though for mother, sometimes nowadays mothers have to go to office after some number of months of taking care of baby, they join back office. But as soon as on the day one of joining back the office, they may even cry because they are in separation. That child is not with them, but they are having the love in separation. Similarly, Shraddhadhana Mat Parama means by keeping complete faith that I exist and I am the source of you. I am father, mother, and grandfather, grandsire, and dhata. Dhata means one. अभी वो ऑफिस में गई है माँ, तो कोई तो घर में ख्याल रखने वाला धात्री, मतलब एक लेडी रहती है, शी टेक्स केयर एज मदर ओनली. So Dhata, Pitamaha, Krishna says, I am everything for you. Keeping Shraddha in this. Aham sarvasya prabhu, matta sarva pravartite. From me everything comes. So this is Shraddha mat parama. Bhaktaha te ativa me priya. Ativ का मतलब क्या होता है? अति, बहुत, beyond limit, me priya. So by following as it is, we become dear to Krishna. So that's why we must follow. This is the fourth reason. Krishna also says this: "Na karmanam anarambhat na naishkarmyam purushoshnuте na cha sanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati." Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. So by just giving up work, practical work, one cannot attain perfection. Or renouncing the world, one cannot attain perfection. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit. For not even a single moment one can stay without doing anything. Karyate yavashah karma sarvah prakriti jair gunaihi. One acts according to the modes of nature he has acquired. So therefore, in purport, Srila Prabhupada has said this: it is not a question of embodied life, but it is the nature of the soul to be always active. Without the presence of the spirit soul, the material body cannot move. The body is only a dead vehicle to be worked by the spirit soul, which is always active and cannot stop even for a moment. As such, the spirit soul has to be engaged. Just a minute. The body, without the presence of the spirit soul, the material body cannot move. The body is only a dead vehicle to be worked by the spirit soul, which is always active and cannot stop even for a moment. As such, the spirit soul has to be engaged in the good work of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it will be engaged in occupations dictated by the illusory energy. So, if we don't act on that knowledge, then we will be acting under illusory energy. So in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter 1st verse, Krishna says, Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshami anasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitvam yad jnatva mokshase ashubhat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjun, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada has said, the words idam jnanam, this knowledge, refers to pure devotional service, which consists of 9 different activities that we saw. Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. Hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping, praying, obeying, maintaining friendship, and surrendering everything. By the practice of these 9 elements of devotional service, by the practice, please highlight this, by the practice of these 9 processes, 9 elements of devotional service, one is elevated to spiritual consciousness. So, actual elevation to spiritual consciousness, actual knowledge, actual understanding comes when we follow. When one's heart is thus cleared of material contamination, one can understand the science of Krishna. By practice of these 9 elements, one is elevated to spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. When one's heart is thus cleared of material contamination, one can understand this science of Krishna. Simply to understand that a living entity is not material is not sufficient. Simply understanding this is not sufficient. Acting on that understanding elevates one to spiritual consciousness by purification of one's heart. Because if we want to see Krishna, if we want to attain spiritual world, if we want to get beyond birth, old age, disease and death, our consciousness has to be pure. Start off. So that purity of consciousness is to be attained by practice. It's a purification process. It's not just written formula. It's not just siddhant. It's something that has to be practiced, and by putting it in practice, we actually purify our existence. Yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. Why karma kurvanti? Why one yogi does perform activities? Yoginah karma kurvanti. Why yogis do activities? Kevalaihi indriyairapi. Means by mind, by intelligence, or by body, or by senses. One does all activities just for the purification of one's heart. So the activities of Krishna consciousness are practical, and they have to be practically executed in order to get purified. We do activities in devotional service because we want to purify our existence and attain the spiritual perfection. What happens? Sorry. So, this is the reason why it is important to practice Bhakti Yoga principles. खराब हो गया क्या? Now, next point is who can practice. It is to be practiced by actually everyone. Everyone can practice because everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Whether one is born in a particular family, whether particular belongs to a particular religion, whether one is of certain region, one is of certain religion, nationality, caste, creed, nothing actually matters. Therefore, everyone can practice. And this was established by ISKCON as such. ISKCON, is there something like ISKCON is only there in this India? ISKCON is international society which is everywhere. So, who can practice? Everyone can practice. It's not that only sannyasis can practice. One has to leave everything, and one has to take up a renounced order of life. It's not like that. Mode, HDMI mode में लाना हाँ HDMI 2 हाँ अभी आना चाहिए. नहीं हो रहा है. शायद हो गया. राइट, थैंक यू. So who can practice? We saw this last slide, practice, importance of practical application. We were at here. Now who can practice? I said everyone can practice. It's not something that is done by renounced order of life. One has to go to jungle, leave everything. It's not like that. It's not that one has to practice only in the retired life. It's not waiting for retired life. It's not that it's a retired life program. These are misconceptions. When our bodies are no longer giving us support, our eyes are not able to read, and we are finding it difficult to grasp. What is the use of reading at that time? It's something that has to be followed throughout the life. And you start reading, it's like, I will do my career, it's a retired life program. It's something like that. It's ridiculous. It cannot be postponed. These misconceptions are there in our civilization today because we are brainwashed by so called British academic education. Everybody who is young might face this in our society. All of you are young only. So people may say, "Hey, why you are retired life में देखो अभी क्यों कर रहे हो?" It's not like that. It's not retired life program. After we get this information from Sri Prahlad Maharaj, uh, Acharya, at what age did he worship Lord Narsimha? Hmm. Even a tender child can and should practice bhakti. Sri Prahlad Uvacha, 9 processes of devotional service who gave? Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj gave. And at what age he was practicing it? 5. Even before that, from childhood. Yeah. So the Acharya, the Mahajana, there are 12 Mahajana, I told them probably. 12 authorities of bhakti. Prahlad is one of them, whom we follow. Yathoktam paryupasate, it was said. As it is said, it has to be followed like that. And there are 12 Mahajanas in the history of Srimad Bhagavatam. 12 such perfected beings whose word and word, every word is authority to be followed. So Prahlad Maharaj is such an authority that he has given 9 processes of devotional service, he has told. Of course, he has learned it from Narad Muni. But 9 processes of devotional service is Sri Prahlad Uvacha. So Prahlad Maharaj did this in tender age of childhood, 5 years of age. Since then, he is taking shelter of Narsingha Bhagwan. So uh, he says this in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Prahlad Uvacha, Kaumaram Acharet, Kaumara Acharet Pradnyo, Dharman Bhagavataniha, Durlabham Manusham Janma, Tadapi Adhruvam Arthadam. This is his, he is telling this to his, all his fellow mates. He says, Prahlad Maharaj said, one who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood. Kaumaram Acharit Pragyo. Kaumaram means 5 years of age. Acharit means one should follow. Pragyo means very intelligent person. From that age he should follow. Dharman Bhagavatani. This Bhagavat means Bhagavad Dharma is Bhakti Dharma. Bhakti should be followed from the childhood. You see, so many children in our campus. There is a special program for children. There you see very small children, even they don't know how to pronounce the words. They start in their, टूटी फूटी तोतली भाषा में वो बोलते हैं हरे कृष्णा करते हैं एंड वो भगवत गीता के श्लोक बोलने का प्रयत्न करते हैं. तो दैट इज इंटेलिजेंट parent. Intelligent parents actually teach their children from tender age of childhood to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagements The human body is most rarely achieved. Durlabham manusham janma. Because it is very rarely achieved. This body, even if it is 5 years old, it is so precious as compared to the 5 years old body of other living entities. It has special powers. It can do bhakti from that childhood itself. So, tadapi adhruvam arthadam means, although it is adhruva, means anything can happen at any time. Anytime one can be dead. Although this is the situation, still one should follow bhakti yoga from childhood because arthadam, it gives great perfection. To practice the activities of giving up all other engagements, the human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, I would like to read: the Krishna consciousness movement is anxious to serve human society by teaching people to perform devotional service, which can save a human being from being degraded again to animal life. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Even a small step in devotional life, small practice, स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य. स्वल्प मतलब अल्प मतलब थोड़ा, स्वल्प मतलब बहुत ही थोड़ा. स्वल्पमप्यस्य, अपि मतलब भी, अस्य धर्मस्य, इस धर्म का थोड़ा भी अनुशीलन किसी ने किया. स्वल्प मतलब 9 प्रोसेसेस ऑफ डिवोशनल सर्विस में श्रवण के लिए कम से कम वीकली वंस कोई आके बैठता है, दैट इज स्वल्प. 24 आवर्स करना है, 7 days a week, 31, 30 days a month, 12 months a year, all the time throughout the life, bhakti yoga is to be done. But Swalpamapyasya means even if he comes, gives some time, hears in temple, then also Trayate Mahatubhaya. Then he will be saved from biggest danger. And what is biggest danger? Falling back into animal life. We have human life and we become again an animal and lose that consciousness, again going back into the cycle of 84 millions of 8.4 million species of life. 84 हाँ 84 लाख लक्ष योनि में जाना. So it is stated by Srila Prabhupada here, the Krishna consciousness movement is anxious to serve human society by teaching people to perform devotional service, which can save a human being from being degraded again to animal life, greatest danger. As already stated by Prahlad Maharaj, Bhagavata Dharma consists of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. In all the schools, colleges and universities and at home, all children and youth should be taught to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, they should be taught to hear the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, to put them into practice in their lives and thus to perform strong in devotional service. What is said here? Srila Prabhupada is clearly saying, in other words, they should be taught to hear the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, to put them into practice in their lives, and thus to become strong in devotional service, free from fear of being degraded to animal. So from start itself, when I speak to my children also at home, I say that you don't have any fear. You should have a healthy fear. You by not performing a single activity in your day-to-day life, you are risking your life so much. Anything can happen at any time. We see that some 8 years or 10 years old girl in Bangalore, slim girl, in school she fell down and had a cardiac arrest. She passed away. It's not a joke actually. Anything can happen at any time. It's not to make you unnecessarily stressed out in your life, but to give you a real account of what can happen. So, Adhruvam, this 5-year-old child Prahlad is saying, Adhruvam, this life is very uncertain. But although it is uncertain, it gives you great opportunity. So I say to my, even to my children, every day at least do something to connect to God. Otherwise, are you not fearful that you are just leaving the hand of God? You are just into your own world on your own without any help from any powerful being. How can you be so careless? I say something like that to them also to inspire them to actually do something every day for connecting Swalpamapyasya Dharmas every day to Supreme Person. What is the use of knowledge otherwise? You are born in a family which is of such culture and you are not practicing, then you are just being so kind of arrogant or negligent or careless or you know, spaced out, means in your own zero. we did not we did not design our body, we landed up in this body. So why should not we be fearful that we may land up in a very unnecessary troublesome body? And that can happen any time. On road you go back, while going back you may be hit by a vehicle and gone. Anything can happen. Although our experience doesn't give us so many fearful experiences, but still it is meaningful. Prahlad Maharaj is saying it is meaningful to engage from 5 years of tender childhood. So who can practice? Anybody. And who should practice? Everybody. From when? From the childhood. Now where from to learn? In a way we saw this in Vedas, the privilege of humanity. It's a parampara, Vedic Guru Shishya parampara. First thing is Sri Krishna, Bhagwan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has given this knowledge. From there we are learning. There is a Guru Shishya parampara, bona fide unbroken lineage. So how many Guru Shishya parampara are coming from Sri Krishna? 4. So out of those unbroken chain of disciplic succession, we choose any one of them for perfection. That is bona fide. But then, for that sampradaya, for that time, place, circumstance, a founder Acharya establishes the principles. So, the founder Acharya of a sampradaya, like Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Shankaracharya, they are founder Acharya for that age and for years to come. They are specially empowered beings, representative, representative of parampara coming from Krishna according to time, place, and circumstance. So we need the help of such a founder Acharya. There has to be such organization within the sampradaya which gives us that time, place, circumstance value or relevance within our own life. So the founder Acharya, contribution of such Acharya is establishment of true temples, which are colleges of higher education where one is educated and trained to perfect one's life. So this place, it's because of whom? Somebody came out of our house, he had compassion in his heart, he was carrying the power, empowered person, and he wanted to give this power to everybody in society. Selflessly, compassionately, he came out and established some institution, some place where you can sit and hear, some place where you can worship. So he established such an organization. So for us, founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada has that special contribution. So where from to learn? Krishna, Sampradaya, then comes founder Acharya. Then comes books, which are the basis. Who is printing the Bhagavad Gita as it is book? Founder Acharya has established a printing press called BBT, Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust. So practically these things, the original teachings are to be presented to the world. So they are presented along with purports. Now whatever we heard in this class also, the things are coming from the purports also. That how practical practice. Now I am speaking to you because I read it in purports. I heard it from purports of the Acharya, who has written books. If I present whatever I present, that presentation has to come from bona fide empowered Acharya. It's not my speculation. I should not speak whatever I feel. I should speak whatever is established and accepted by Guru Sadhu Shastra. So Guru Sadhu Shastra accept somebody as an Acharya. How Shastra establishes who is Acharya. So those symptoms are seen and verified by sadhus and gurus, and they say that yes, he is an Acharya. So there are established Acharya in every age, not only Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga like that, but age means our age, today's age. Every century or every 100 200 years, some empowered Acharya comes, and then he established, like in our lineage of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, Krishna is the original. Then here you see Brahmadev, Narad, then subsequently all these Acharya. So Narad was there. Then Bhakti Vinod Thakur was Acharya who established this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya at that time, and there was a lot of turbulence and lot of misunderstanding uh, as to what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings were originally meant. So he wrote so many books, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Then Acharya Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he established Gaudiya Math everywhere. And within that Gaudiya Math also, our Srila Prabhupada got trained under Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He established ISKCON. So like that establish करने के लिए आचार्य उस टाइम पे सेंचुरी के लिए बोलो या something like that, they come and establish, they print books, they establish temples, and they initiate so many guru, appoint pure devotees as sannyasi gurus or grahastha gurus. So founder Acharya, and their whole teaching is there in their books. So Srila Prabhupada said that these books of mine, they are the guidebooks for humanity for coming next 10,000 years. Up to 10,000 years, this Krishna consciousness movement will go on. That is prediction. Next 10,000 years. So that he said that even if ISKCON doesn't remain after a few years, probability is there. Even if ISKCON doesn't remain, somebody will pick up these books and re-establish the movement. So it may be called something else at that time. But founder acharyas come who are empowered, and it is said in Vedic scriptures that one elephant can be taken out from a ditch by another elephant. Similarly, if saintly people fall down in the material world, then a saintly, powerful person only can take him out from that situation. So, for all upcoming generations of future devotees, the empowered acharyas will go on coming. So, in that way, books are the basis, foundations. So, from books we learn basically, and we represent. Then our spiritual masters. There are spiritual masters who are spreading this knowledge. They are physically present. Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada is not physically speaking around here, although he is present in his murti form. And one, if prays to him, he gets reciprocations and he gets knowledge from Srila Prabhupada. But Guru is somebody who physically can, you are going wrong. आपका ego को सीधा कर सकता है. So physically a person is there. That is called Guru, and he is representative of God himself. If my spiritual master comes here, I have to reciprocate with him as if Krishna himself has come here. I can't be just frivolous. I can't just be negligent when he comes. So that is Guru. And then Guru trains so many Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru is one of the spiritual masters. You have so many spiritual masters. One is from whom you get most inspired to follow. Whenever you come in touch with him, you feel like he is your savior. You feel inner connection. जैसे कोई कोई बोलते हैं ना, लव एट फर्स्ट साइट, देखते ही मुझे लगा ये मेरी जीवन संगिनी है, लाइक दैट पीपल से, या दिस इज, ये मेरे सपनों का राजकुमार है, मुझे देखते ही महसूस हुआ। तो लेंथ वेवलेंथ कुछ कुछ क्लिक होता है। सिमिलरली गुरु स्पिरिचुअली हमेशा ही क्लिक करता है हमारे। व्हेनेवर यू कम इन कॉन्टेक्ट विद गुरु, you are divinely inspired as never before. So that guru, that is a separate topic. How to qualification of a divine guru, identifying a guru, how to identify. पॉजिटिव थिंकर करके कोर्स है, उसमें पूरा एक सब्जेक्ट, पूरा एक क्लास ही 2-3 घंटे का उसके ऊपर, आइडेंटिफाइंग स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर। तो उसमें सिम्टम्स, व्हाट हैपेंस, हाउ यू फाइंड अ गुरु, व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस, व्हाट गुरु टीचेस, व्हाट आर द सिम्टम्स ऑफ अ गुरु, वो सब दिया हुआ है। सो ये गुरु जो है उनमें से एक दीक्षा देते हैं, हम उनको समर्पित होके उनसे दीक्षा ग्रहण करते हैं। दीक्षा के बाद आफ्टर टेकिंग इनिशिएशन फ्रॉम अ गुरु, द मंत्र एक्चुअली यू ओन मंत्र, यू ओन द साधना, यू आर एम्पावर्ड। सो दीक्षा गुरु होते हैं। शिक्षा गुरु आर दोज ट्रेन्ड masters or guides who can guide everybody in their day to day life, like टेम्पल में काउंसलर्स है, मेंटर्स है, प्रीचर्स है, from whom you take instructions, from whom you ask questions and get answers, and with whom you get inspiration, one who is following the spiritual master, and they act as a personal guide to you. Your personal questions you ask to him, like your spiritual master may not be present for all questions to be answered. So shiksha guru is around you in your own temple, in your own vicinity. You attend his program, or you go and get personal guidance, you ask him questions, so that is called shiksha guru. So all of these constitute the practical devotional service, how to learn. And shiksha guru can be there for many aspects of life. For me, one shiksha guru is there who inspires me and gives me guidance as to how I work at office in devotional consciousness. One shiksha guru is there who is expert in scriptures. He can give me any reference from any scriptural quotation for my answer. So he is one of my shiksha guru. One who has solved my marital problems and established my grihastha life in a very happy state because of his spiritual health. Now I am able to live happily. Otherwise, I would have divorced and would have gone into a very difficult situation. He has saved my home. He has saved my traditions at home. He has saved my next generation. So he is my shiksha guru for my home. So like that, shiksha guru can be many. Got getting the point? So is there anything missing in this? It's a complete package. It's available in a association, devotee association like ISKCON. Then all of them are having check on each other. If your question may be, what happens if your guru, so-called guru, who was inspiring you, fails down and you find that he is no more following the principles? He has got into a material track. Now he has fallen down. What about him? So the Guru Shishya Parampara, Guru Sadhu Shastra, Guru Sampradaya will disassociate him from the institution. So ऐसा नहीं है कि सेल्फ मेड गुरु, एक कोई गुरु बन गया और इंस्पायर कर रहा है सबको, अचानक से यू फाइंड हिम इन सम compromising situation, position, and you lose all faith in him. Still he goes on being a guru. This happens with people who are self-declared gurus, and they don't come into any founder Acharya circle, guru association. So if there are say 5 gurus, one guru fall down, the other 4 will see to it that the pollution doesn't spread. And what happens to the followers of that guru? They will take care. They will not, मतलब उनका नुकसान नहीं होगा. So that is the founder Acharya's design. Founder Acharya makes sure that The purity of the institutions goes on. The original teachings as they are go on. They carefully implement this. And they give such principles in books according to time, place, circumstance. So this is the complete system of learning. Practical. We are saying how we are going to learn practically devotional service. This is there. So you have any question in this respect as to where do I go for this or that? I don't think there will be any gap in this. For any, it's not that everybody will be able to give every answer. It's not that a Shiksha Guru will be whole and soul, everything you go to him only. There can be many gurus, and Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru both are important. It's not that you take Diksha from a Guru, he gives you a spiritual name, and then he's not available to you all the times whenever you want, so there is nobody. Shiksha Gurus are there. So Shiksha Gurus also, their instructions are also as good as Diksha Guru. They are serious. So when you choose somebody as a Shiksha Guru, you have to identify with proper symptoms who is your Shiksha Guru. Because once you accept him as such, he also becomes an authoritative person in your life. So he has to also be very empowered, pure devotee of Lord. Pure devotee, again, there are levels of pure devotee. And you may not expect that 100% pure, perfect, renounced sannyasi only should be a Shiksha Guru. It's not that extreme also. You will understand as you learn, as you go on, you will understand the Shiksha Guru and his position. So understood what is position of Krishna, what is position of Guru Shishya Sampradaya, what is position of founder Acharya, what is position of Guru, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, books, all this you understood. All these are important. Now temple, the center of spiritual practice. Do you need a break, 5 minutes break? Hmm? Or we'll go non-stop? Okay, 5 minutes we'll break. You can just walk around, have water.